What is going on, guys? Steve here. Welcome back to Football Manager 2019. This is the Stoke Save Life After Crouch. I'm going to stop calling it that, I think. 2 games played since the last time you saw me, and unfortunately both of them went pretty much the same way. We are out of the Carabao, and Manchester United are the reason why. A 90 plus 1 minute goal from William Jose. We were very, very close, 2 minutes in fact, or 1 minute I should say, away from taking them into extra time or penalties or whatever that happens in the Carabao. And then, of course, Leeds beat us 1-0. They are the team that came up with us. Unfortunately, we didn't have the goods, the right stuff to win that game. It's just the way that it is. We host Arsenal now, who are in 10th, but they are the favourites to win that game. And then we go to we host Manchester City again. And again, they are the favourites. And then, of course, Derby. Now, I think what I'm going to do is we'll play Man City and we'll play Arsenal, both of those two in today's episode. I might just skip these two then and go all the way down to the end of December just so that we can get into the transfer window. Not that it matters. It's just, Liverpool's a big game. Newcastle is going to be a game that I think by the time we get there, we will realise what kind of club we are. Because if we look at the league table, you'll see that, yes, we are indeed 6th. However, we've now got an extremely hard run, and we've just lost to Leeds, who are mid-table. Newcastle are down toward the bottom, and I think that's probably where we're going to be, the Bournemouth, West Ham kind of area. That's what we're going to drop down to, because we've had relatively straightforward games so far, and we've not done too badly. And then we come up against Leeds, a team we really, really should be beating, and we lose. And now all of a sudden, the hard run begins, and we have fitness problems galore. To the point where we are playing what I would probably class as a second string team. Woods in at right back. You can see that we're going to have some major issues in front of him. And then Joe Allen comes into the middle instead of Stulak, I believe. And of course we've got some problems there as well because he's just not good enough really at this stage. So, I mean, where are we budget-wise? We've got 60 million and 150,000 in wage budget. Going into the January window, I want to get a world-class CDM that can play this system, because this system works. They've got De Ligt. This is Arsenal. They've bought De Ligt. They've got Iwobi. They've bought Ronnie Lopez, questionable. He used to play for Man City, I believe. They got Nelson in there. They bought Digne from Everton, Danilo from Manchester City. They've made some purchases. Whether that makes them a better team or not, I don't know. They are in 9th currently, but that's with today's result taken into consideration as well. Marriott comes into the starting 11 because Pedro isn't quite fit, and that's the problem that we have, fitness. I see a lot of people mentioned in the comments that we need to be utilising the under-23s. Lacazette's through, and that's lucky. We've been let off. We need to be utilising the under-23s and giving them the players who aren't fit, game time so that we make them fit. And I am doing that. I'm allowing them 20 minutes here or there. Sometimes I will do 45. The problem is that they just don't seem to regain that fitness. Not all of them anyway, because there's just too many players in the squad right now. We need to trim it down a little bit. But I did change the system. Joe Allen's challenger, Wobi's got the ball. And it's going to be an Arsenal corner. Because I've changed the system after the window closed, it's kind of led me down the path of a lot of the players that I have are no longer useful to me. Gibbs White, for instance. I think Marriott might get sent off. Is he going to be booked? He's not even going to get booked. That's good. Gibbs White, for instance, is a great player and a brilliant cam. We don't use cams anymore. So arguably, he's now useless to me. I don't really want to sell him, but at the same time, I kind of feel like, what else am I going to do? Do I realistically want to keep a player that good and that expensive that I'm not going to use? I don't know. This game isn't going particularly well. We've not had a shot or a sniff yet. I do honestly put that down to the fact that we have a substandard side out there and one that isn't match sharp. Marriott threw on goal, though. And that's a great challenge. I was just about to say he's put us 1-0 up. That is a great tackle from whoever that is at the back. It may very well be Mustafi. I don't know. Whoever that is there. It's De Ligt. Of course it is. Of course it is. De Ligt has literally just stopped us from going 1-0 up. Marriott probably should have pulled the trigger beforehand. He's only got 54% match sharpness, to be fair, so he wasn't really with it. And we are being dominated for possession, which is not unusual for this formation and this tactic. But we are yet to register a shot. Not even on target, not even just in general. We've not had a shot. We need to turn this around. We need to wake up a little bit. This is Arsenal. We are Stoke. We've just been promoted, so I'm not expecting to beat teams like this, but I expect to at least register a shot. Digne with a free kick. He's come off the bar, cleared off the line by Capuano, and that is a warning if ever I've seen one. We're going to have to make a sub in just a second. We can start bringing on some of our better players. I'm hoping this highlight doesn't result in us conceding a goal, though, because if it does, it means we're going to have to push as well as make the sub. Lacazette lays it inside to Nelson. Goal, and that is not what I wanted in the slightest. I was kind of hoping to press it to about the hour mark. I know we are about the hour mark, but the highlight beyond the hour mark, and then make the subs, because obviously Garcia and Klukas are starting to really flag. They're not really players I kind of want to take off because they're kind of first team players. Stulak is 82%. See, I mean, it's just we're in that situation where we can't really do an awful lot. Woods to come off for Bauer. Believe it or not, that could actually be a key substitution because we do use our full backs, or wing backs I should say. Stulak will have to come on for probably Garcia. Klukas is playing better than Garcia, so Stulak is on. He's the only one who actually kind of half likes the system. And I mean, I'm very tempted to bring Pedro on, but we're not creating anything to score, let alone score. So I don't know, maybe Woodburn or Berardi would be a better idea, but I don't know. What do you reckon? Woodburn, Berardi? Berardi's not match sharp, but let's bring him on for Torre. And I may have made a bad decision there. There's about 4 or 5 things I could have done. I don't know whether that was the right decision to make. This system, I trust, right? And I don't want anyone in the comments going, you need to change your system, it doesn't work, because it does. I've been on the Newport save today for 6 hours, and we started out and it worked. And then it just went through a bit of a slump, but I needed to get players who were, to fit the way that you play. You can't just force people into positions they don't want to be in, so you need to force them out of the club and buy people who are actually good and actually fit the system. I did that in January in Newport, and it works very, very well. In fact, we are tearing up the league right now. We've gone from being relegation candidates to promotion hopefuls. So we just need to get players who fit the system. We need to just trudge along until then, and hope that we can limp until January with at least a fighting chance. I say at least a fighting chance. It doesn't really matter where we finish this season, so long as we don't get relegated. But it would be nice to maintain some sort of form. I was kind of hoping that we could continue this into the run of difficult games. Maybe press on for a European place. But I'm not sure that's going to happen now that we've lost to Leeds. We're losing to Arsenal. We're probably going to pick up a defeat here. There's just nothing being created. I've told my team several times to show passion, get creative, etc. But that should be the final action of the game, and indeed it is. I mean, to lose 1-0 against Arsenal isn't bad. It's the manner in which we've done it. 42% possession, that's not too bad. 1 shot on target the entire game. Not great. I am putting it down to the fact that we had a second string team out there, though. I mean, it wasn't the best side in the world. And how long have we got to wait now until Manchester City? I mean, they play Fulham in just a second. Should we see what the result is there? Can we see it? 0-0. Fulham, bottom of the league, held... Wait. Is it finished? Is that finished? Have they literally held them to a 0-0 draw? Because that is shocking stuff if they've managed to do that. What was the date of that? Yeah, they did. I think. Or is it for this half time in that game? I'm so confused. Manchester City did indeed draw 0-0 with Fulham, and then they played Olympiacos midweek and they beat them 3-0. So I'm kind of hoping there will be some sort of European hangover here. And we are back. And back with a bang as well. We are fully fit. I'm kind of thinking Stulak there, Garcia in the middle, actually. There you go. So Stulak is far better suited to play in that sort of whatever that's called. What's it called? I need to remember that. Volante role. Bauer back in at right back. We have the loanee from Leicester that I still can't pronounce the name of in at centre back. Corrigan at left back. I don't think that's what I want to do. Ben Davies comes back in at left back. There's a nice link between Bauer and Torre. They've got a strong partnership and they play well together, so that's good. Pedro comes back in at striker. I am teaching every player to play in their new adopted positions, so fingers crossed they will start to play well there soon. And of course you already know this, I've told you once, but I'll tell you again. The colour of the squares on the pitch indicates how strong our team is compared to the opposition. So in this area here, there is some minor issues because we don't have an attacking midfielder, basically. But in the likes of, for this for instance, no issues at all. Ben Davies going up and down there will be fine. Over here again, if I can get the... Okay, yeah, no issues once more. We're quite strong. Down here, Butland has got a nice square, and that says area of strength. So the only real area of strength we have up here with Pedro, not sure if that's going to tell me that we have one because I can't quite fit it in. Oh, there we are, area of strength. He's reasonable for his area as a poacher, as well suited to it. So we've got our keepers very strong, our strikers very strong, and the rest of the team are relatively competent. The Manchester City side we'll be facing looks pretty damn strong to me. Gabriel Jesus, Sane, Bernardo Silva, David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Barrios. I don't know an awful lot about that guy, although he does appear to be playing relatively well. Mendy, Umtiti, Otamendi, Walker and Edison. That looks like one of the strongest teams they could possibly field. So, I mean, there's no Aguero in there, but you never know. He could just be rested from the European game. We haven't changed the tactic in any way. Aguero is indeed on the bench. They have got Hector Bellerin and Tierney as well as Sterling, Gundogan and John Stones. I'm imagining that Aguero picked up a knock against Olympiacos. Here's Sam Klukas with a nice free kick in. Edison has scrambled it off the line. And unfortunately, we've not managed to take advantage there. I'll tell you what. If we can pick up anything, a 0-0, a 1-1, a 5-5, anything, I don't care. Or if we can obviously go on to win it, that would be phenomenal. But at the moment, 30 minutes in, we are looking decent. I mean, we are much more fit than they are. They have got some sort of hangover. The thing is, right, Man City are so good that they don't even need to be fit to beat us. Although both highlights so far have come from our end. Garcia's head has been scrambled away by Edison. He's got down to his right quite quickly. I'm not even sure if it was going on target, to be honest. That might not be the end of the highlight. They may have just taken the ball off us, go up the other end and pop one in. That would not be good. Otamendi's on a yellow. We need to watch that. We could maybe get him down to 10 men if we play for it. Gabriel Jesus in on goal. Plays it across. Easy save for Butland. Stood his ground. The defence did well to show him quite wide. And that's half time. 0-0. But looking good. More shots already against Man City than we have against Arsenal. I'm not sure who won the league last year to know whether if these are the champions or not. I would imagine they are. But you never know. Man United or something could have pipped them to it. We're in with a shout here if we can just not make any silly mistakes. We've had a couple more shots. We're not really clawing possession back, but that's not what this tactic is all about. We are 25 minutes from the end. Man United have beaten Watford 3-1. Not that has any relevance whatsoever. Just thought I'd mention it. 15 minutes to go. Sergio Aguero is on, but let's be honest, he's got a knock. What is the knock? He's just not returned to full fitness, really. That's what it is. Can we bring anyone on that can change anything? That's the question. I don't really want to be taking Pedro off. He's our big money signing, our big goal scorer. I might bring on Berardi and Woodburn, although Abdoulaye Touré and Bauer do have that link, and that could be one of the reasons why we're doing well. Although Touré is playing a 6.2, which is absolutely abysmal. Let's bring on Berardi. I'm going to bring on Woodburn as well. Two attacking substitutions. I don't think there's any point us doing anything else. Maybe Joe Allen for Garcia. Garcia is a former Manchester City player. Don't know whether that's got anything to do with anything, but he might be a little bit more fired up than normal. I'll just leave it like that, I think. I'll click play. We'll tell them to show some passion and see if that does anything. We've got ourselves a highlight here. We're not in possession, though. Hopefully we can steal it back, because I do not want to be conceding. To go 78, 79 minutes without conceding and actually playing well against Man City and then conceding would be a bit of a kick in the teeth. I feel like it's coming though. Sterling plays it inside. Lucas gets rid of it. Here's Pedro. Lay it off, Pedro. There it is. Now go. Everybody run. Woodburn through the middle. Pedro over the top, out the outside to Berardi, back into the centre. Lucas is there, and he's scored, and he's onside, and it's going to count. Now what do I do? Do I change the system? Let me go positive, because that's with the mentality that we want to attack, but just be cautious. That's essentially what it is. Let's hope that's enough. They do have a highlight here, though. It's never enough, is it? Sterling been dangerous since he's come on. Gundogan's gone for it, just over the bar. We do have another sub to make. This would be such a big result if we could get it. I am tempted to bring on Joe Allen, who looks a little bit fired up. Garcia to come off. There's not an awful lot of difference there between the ability to play in that position. We have just minutes to hold out here. We are fitter than they are, and we're winning. This is a corner. 1 minute left. Aguero with a shot blocked. De Bruyne into Aguero, turns and hits it. It's wide. And you'd imagine a fully fit Aguero would have buried that. Well, Woodburn's come on. A Liverpool player on loan. They are top of the league. And at the moment, he is helping us beat Manchester City, which is keeping Liverpool top of the league. Were Manchester City to win this, they would go a point clear. And that has gone nowhere. We are about to beat Manchester City. And there it is, full-time whistle. The system works. We just need fit players. We need players who can play in the positions and who have fitness. Yes, Manchester City had a depleted team. Yes, they'd just come off a European match, which obviously took its toll because they had a European hangover. It doesn't matter. We've just beaten what I believe are the Premier League champions. And we've picked up 3 very important points. I said before we hit this run, disregard Leeds. I mean, to be fair, you can disregard Man United as well because that's the Carabao. We're talking about the league. This run here, I wanted to win 2 of the 4, I think. Somewhere around that. I kind of thought we would take a scalp of maybe Arsenal or Tottenham. I didn't think we'd beat Man City, but we have done and we've lost to Arsenal. If we can beat Derby and then maybe get something against Tottenham, that would be, although Tottenham are top or thereabouts of the league. They're 5th, but they're there, they're within that sort of area. There's no such thing as an easy game in the Premier League, so I'm not going to go, oh, that's a tough game, because they're all tough games. There's no such thing as an easy game. But to beat Man City 1-0 at home, I'm very, very happy with that. The team is looking decent. We need to just get through December. I mean, look at that now, because we're playing Derby next. We are now an area of strength. It depends who you're coming up against. We've got a lot of areas of strength, and we have got a very strong team. We just need slightly better players here or there who can play the system. And getting through December with a reasonable points tally is the goal. If we can be in and around where we are now after December's finished, I will be extremely happy. Go and spend 40-50 million on a CDM. We're good to go for the second half of the season. Join me tomorrow for what could potentially be a rather explosive episode. You'll see where we are midway through the Premier League. If you have enjoyed this though, smack the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and until the next time, goodbye.